can't remember. What's y'all's house? Are y'all an early Christmas people? Like,
Yeah.
is y'all's tree already up?
Yeah.
Do you have like a anything worked out with Sam, or you just kind of like, all right, just do it? Because like
No,
for
I
me,
like it.
okay, I like it too, but I also enjoy the lead up to Thanksgiving. But I'm also someone over the years I've learned to like, I'd rather pack in. Um, a bunch of stuff for Christmas because I'm like, there's not enough movies or songs for me to go from November 1st all the way to the Christmas. I just don't want to do it. So I told Lindsay, I was like, I'm totally fine putting up Christmas stuff, putting out the Christmas candles, I love that smell, so I'm totally cool with that, but I won't watch or listen to Christmas music or movies before Thanksgiving. That's my compromise. Because
Okay.
there's just too many. Although I did break the rule the other day. I kind of like fell asleep watching Scooby-Doo Zombie Island and then woke up to it automatically playing How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and I didn't change it. But that's my life over here. Anyways, my true intro idea I had though was we ordered Chinese and they gave us a lot of fortune cookies. So sorry if there's noise right now. Lucy's a bit hyper. Lucy, lay down. Lay down. We're gonna see what my fortune is three different times.
Okay.
Let's see if this means anything. I will say, spoiler alert, last night when we opened the others, they were not that good. All right, so your nurturing instincts will be expanded to include many people. Again, that's not really a fortune, but my lucky number is 10 on here, and that's my favorite number, so that means something. I'm gonna get $1 million.
10
Um,
million.
yeah, 10, that'd be nice. You're not gonna see a penny. Um, I'm going to pay for Chaganel's community college. But if they want to go to college, they're on their own. Anyways, um, gentle hints will be, yeah, gentle hints will help you decide the best answer. It's not a fortune. That's just what happened to the fortune cookie industry. They just really ran out of ideas.
They got 2 PC.
Yeah, seriously. Actually, Lindsay and I, when we went to San Francisco, there's this store that like you can make your own fortune cookie, and I was like, okay, guys, you've really lost your magic here. Cool place though. Anyways, a thrilling time is in your immediate future. I think that's a great transition into the episode. The fortune worked out. Here we go. In a way. All right, and the 2025 season is over, and our first official season as the 10 Away podcast. I mean, it was kind of three-fourths of the season, but hey, still counts. Is over. So today we're going to talk about a couple of things, the good and the bad of the season, our favorite schemes of the season, and then kind of look at next year and kind of what this podcast entails, and what what hopefully we might see next year. So let's jump into the good and the bad. Actually, I kind of want to pick your brain about like the two teams you've been pitting for this year. What would you say your season was
Oh man, for
when you look
Lane
back
and for
on
the
it?
34 truck, it was overall really good. We were really competitive. I really have no complaints. I think the best truck won, the championship. I think we were the second best truck. We were the only truck I think that could have beat the 11. Um, Most any given weekend, just some races, just some bad luck or some strategy. But overall, really, really can't be too upset with how the 34 season went. I think the only thing is we had probably at least 2 to 3 races that we look back on. We kind of wish we had won.
I
We
do
wish
think
we'd won
that I do think if you
to
look at last year, what y'all ended on kind of carried over, definitely carried
yeah,
over.
for
So
sure. It was also kind of strange how some of the years started off very similar to last year. Daytona and Atlanta, we both were very poor finishes, even though we had a lot of speed at both of them. And then this year, at least after we got through that, like we went to Vegas, Miami, and we were really fast at those and running in the top five. Last year, we weren't really a running the top five until probably the seventh or eighth race of the year. So that was the difference. Is very beginning of the season, we were very fast every weekend. Like in practice and qualifying, we were a lot better than last year, much more consistent. And I think the word Lane used was we floundered a lot early last year, and I think that was a lot of us trying to find our identity, each guy like kind of finding their role. Young crew chief, young
Yeah.
driver. So pit crew all trying to learn to jive together, and then we had to make a pit crew change at Jackman. But then this year it was the same team through and through, except for we had to have a gas man change because of Dan having cancer. And so that was the only, real change. But I think that this year was so much fun being that for Lane and for us on the 34, we were really competitive every week. We got to run up front, be on TV a lot, and it just makes you feel more valuable when you're there and you're really competing for something.
Yeah.
And then for Jeremy, I think for Jeremy, they have some cool news that came out today. They're going to
I
be an
saw that.
alliance of Haas Factory. So this upcoming season,
Switching
he
over
should
to
have a lot
Chevy.
better.
Haas is
Well, he's been
switching
a
over.
Chevy.
Yeah, yeah. Haas is switching to Chevy.
Haas is switching to Chevy, and they're gonna have an alliance with Jeremy. And I think Ryan Sieg's team's also switching with them. Gonna go to Chevy
Yeah.
and stay with. They have an alliance right now with Chevy or with Haas. So I think it was smart for
I
them
even think
to.
Viking is going to.
I could see that.
Oh, I
Um,
think I saw that they're doing an RCR alliance.
yeah.
Uh,
So for Jeremy though, it was more of a season of I don't know. It was just kind of like we had a lot of maybe some expectations and a lot of hope, but it really we had a lot of bad luck, man. I feel like about halfway through the season, we just kind of had some dumb things happen that really weren't out of our control, and then a couple of cars that just the setup and then the adjustments, it just didn't matter what we did to it. It really made no change to the car. I mean, Phoenix, we think that it was the shock package or the spring that just it was such a bad driving car is what Jeremy said. It sucked. I really wish we'd had some better luck and we could have ran better for Jeremy, but I'm overall really happy I got to work with them, and it was an overall fun season to work with
yeah.
those guys, and there's a lot of friends I made because of Jeremy's team. So I really can't be.
And drinks you like.
Yeah, I found
You
a couple
found
more
that one
drinks.
beer?
The one from the Spartan Burgers, that was that was a good one
You're
to
gonna have to
find,
drive
but
all the way down there to scratch that itch.
I go have to watch a baseball game to get
Yeah.
one. But no, I really am glad I got to work for them. They've always been a great team. I've only got to work with them a few times, kind of like hit and miss, like one-off weekends. So to get to actually work with them every week for the whole season was a lot of fun. And I hope for the best for them, whether I'm with them next year or if I'm with somebody else. I really hope that Jeremy and that Haas Factory Alliance gets to really boost their performance.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's get into the good and the bad. I was actually kind of thinking about this topic, and I had a harder time thinking about an overall bad than I would say I had overall goods. Because, like for instance, I put overall goods. We had two record-breaking seasons in the lower series with Connor Zilic and Corey Heim. Is Yeah, I mean, really cool that we can experience that. And I would also actually throw SVG in there because the more I think about SVG's career right now in NASCAR, the more I just respect it. It's annoying when it's happening because you're like, okay, well, let's challenge him a bit. And you almost get a little bit insecure about like NASCAR drivers' diverse way of racing. And you're like, well, we're not horrible at road courses. I'm actually curious to
Yeah,
see how Austin Cindric holds up down wherever he's racing right now. But anyways, yeah, so I thought those record-breaking seasons were really cool to experience, and I think we're gonna look back on them, especially if these drivers age really well. Of like, okay, that was at least we appreciated it during the time. Um, so that was part of one of my goods. I also thought the prime coverage for those six races was fantastic, which is
was it six? I thought
I
it was
think.
four.
No, it could have been four. I wish it was longer. Let's just put it that way. I want to say six. That's the number that I'm going to go with. It's in my head. Um, but that also transitions into me saying, man, that was probably one of the most glaring bad things was trying to figure out those like the week when it switches. They didn't do a horrible job at telling you where they're going to go next week, but it was like the amount of stations or streaming services or whatever. Like it was just so scattered. I
Yeah,
wish they would find a way to um group it all together. I mean, I will say that the Xfinity Series being on the CW the whole week, easy. Like that's it.
everybody
And
has the CW.
yeah. Well, and also it's just like the consistency of it. So that's the thing. It's again when I throw it against the what I'll tell my friends. test, I probably won't say it in a way of, hey, this is smart or this is easy. So, excuse me for the slight burp, but I mean, do you have any good or bads that come to your head in the way of the overall season? Because there's a lot of bad incidences or races or whatever. Um,
I know the one good that I can easily spot, and it's not even if it was a bad, it's nobody's fault, is we didn't have a single rain out this year.
oh, really?
Yeah, at least for truck and Xfinity, we didn't have a single rain out. I think we had like a practice or two get rained out,
That's
but
yeah,
we weren't affected by any weather, so that was huge. I think Sam brought that up like 2 weeks ago. She's like, you know what's been crazy about this year? You didn't have a single rain out, and I said,
yeah,
you know what? Like you're right. So I think there's maybe 3 times or 4 times where we were looking at the forecast on like a Tuesday, and it's like, oh, there's possible rain coming, and it never happened.
yeah,
But no, for that's an actual good. I don't know if I've ever had a season where we didn't have a single rain out. I feel like you always have one
yeah.
somewhere throughout the year that you get a rain out.
Daytona,
Daytona or
Loudon,
Martinsville. Martinsville seems to always kind of have rain. Bristol.
yeah,
Bristol's probably the second most notorious track to have rain.
yeah.
That in Miami, but we only go to Miami once. Um, but yeah, no,
Pocono, I feel
I
like always has issues, right?
sometimes Pocono does. I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
Pocono is kind of high risk for sure.
Yeah.
But no, I think that was the one good. I would say that one bad that we kind of constantly had, and I can't really complain too much because it's just me complaining about something that's a such a nice luxury is I feel like almost all of our private flights home, the home flight, we somehow always had a team that ended up like going through tech, so they were really late getting to the plane, and or we had the winners or something. It was just like the most odd
Yeah.
thing. Like I think we tried to tally them up of all the flights home. We almost always were one of the last planes, if not the last plane to leave because of just the teams that we happen to have on our flight. Like I remember Iowa, we wrecked out and we get to the plane early and we had the 41 Sam Mayer's team and they won the race.
Oh,
So we sat at the plane for like 3 or 3.5 hours, something like
oh,
that, 3 hours, give or take. And it was just it's so crappy. Like I know it's somebody's fault, but it's so crappy when you have to go home early and you can't leave
yeah.
and you watch other people get there later and then take off.
Yeah, especially
So
the group that's happy to be there.
yeah, yeah. Like we're all like sitting there like we've ate all the food that they were waiting on. Sometimes we get there before the food gets there, and then the
Yeah.
winners get there and they're all happy and excited, and then their food's been ate or it's cold as can be because it's been sitting. And
Well, that's the trade-off.
so
Yeah. You win, you don't
that's
get
the
as good
one
of
thing that
food.
sucks. You sit there and you don't have any power to like charge phones. You have to pull out your battery packs and stuff,
Oh,
but
okay. Wow.
it's is what it is. Like we come prepared for it, at least I do.
Yeah.
But that was the one thing we all somehow joked about. We always seem to have one or two teams that were slow getting to the plane. We had one team that go and picked up other food and then came to the plane and they were the last ones there. And I mean, we were all furious. We're like, y'all went and picked up food
Yeah,
knowing we're
seriously.
all waiting on you.
The only time that's like worth it or a good idea is they had to have ordered ahead.
I don't know.
That's what I would have
It's
done.
the one I'm not gonna say names. He's done it
Go ahead.
before. He's done it before, so it's not it's a driver. It's not something that we're shocked by, but it's just more or less it just kind of adds to his reputation. And
I'm starting to pick up some. I'm starting to filter
so
out. I got a Guess Who game going in my head right now. Does he have glasses? Does he have a
mm,
mustache?
no, he's got a beard, but he
Is
did it
he
it was
white?
at Coda. It was at Coda and we were all like,
Uh,
where are they at? And they come showing up with I think it was Whataburger or In-N-Out. I think it was Whataburger.
okay,
And we
that's
were
not
like,
even worth it.
are we for real, guys? Like, I will say this: there's some tracks, Kansas and Texas, have immediate restaurants right there. Like, you can literally leave the track, go grab food, and it delays you 10 or 15 minutes, and it'll blend in with the time of waiting for everybody. Like, it will not cost you any time. But it was the principle of they ran the whole race, and they were the last ones there, and we waited on them, knowing that there's food waiting on them, and they went and got something else.
Wow.
So,
Well, yeah, I mean, trying to think about one more. I think you would probably we'd probably put it in the more bad category is the end of the season, particularly the championship. I think just kind of a not happy ending to a storyline. It's kind of what it's coming out to be more than it is like a bad championship result. Like Denny Hamlin, for instance, oh, that would have been nice, but also the bad part about Corey Heim even being surrounded by
in
those three.
jeopardy.
Yeah. And yeah, Zilich not getting his victory as well, like or his championship as well. So I think we can count that as bad, but overall, I think good. Another good thing would be Goodyear as just t making tire improvements and like yes, we saw like not fall off at the first Bristol race and then to a lot of fall off the second Bristol race and but I just think that there is improvements in that area. So I I'm not going to complain if it's movements especially in the right area or in the right direction like I think they happen. I actually even thought the tire at Phoenix was actually really made it a more interesting race as
Yeah,
well. Um
I didn't think that the tires at Phoenix would be as like the prominent like wanting stickers or new tires. I didn't think
yeah.
it'd be as in such demand. So when we were leading and then the caution came out, I thought we were going to stay out.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. And so I applaud Goodyear for that. And I mean, if I would, I'm going to put it in the hopeful category out of all these. I hope the playoff system changes to some degree. I mean, it absolutely will. We'll see what it comes out to be, but I'll put it in the good category of NASCAR making the necessary change and also planning a really cool event for next year, which I'll put that I guess more in next year, which is San Diego, but I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Let's talk about schemes. I went into this episode when I was kind of briefly casually planning it to make a top five, and then I realized I just got really too busy to kind of comb through all the schemes from this year, and I was like trying to figure out should I exclude throwback schemes because I could just make a top five out of that. But I decided maybe if I do this, I'll keep better track of it next year, keep my top three or whatever from each race and figure it out. But so I'm just going to start off with my favorite scheme of the year. It's just going to be Larson's Tony the Tiger scheme for the 4 laps it ran, the full practice,
yeah,
and the 4 laps in the qualifying session. Really
I
cool
feel
for
like
that.
that warrants like you didn't get to run it very long. You should just bring it back.
Honestly, but I think when we had Tyler Mon on, like he was talking about, they're probably not going to run another throwback
No,
scheme for a minute.
that thing was bad luck.
I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, it's like what the five he did last year. He also
he
ran really well, but then
led a
yeah,
lot and then didn't win.
well he wrecked, yeah. But then I also put in here for the moment Brendan Poole's Looney Tunes throwback on the
That
same
was a
race.
really good one.
That was a really good one. And then I was actually like I saw Chastain's one Bush Light scheme. The
The camo
like
one?
no, it was like a dark blue one, but I think he ran it at Darlington. I was like, okay, well, I thought that was not going to be a throwback one, but I mean, it was really cool. It's got like the black horse on the side, but I mean, off the top of your head, what are some of your favorite schemes? It can be any series, honestly. Some of your favorite schemes from the season.
So I love our bare knuckle brawl truck and our clue
Hmm.
truck. Those
Yeah.
are both great. And then Jeremy had the one that we raced in Atlanta. It had like an Old Glory American flag on it,
Yeah.
like a blue. It was like a really dark blue, black matte color with the American flag in it. I thought that one was really sexy. I have a picture of it on my phone that it remains pretty undefeated. And the cup, favorite cup scheme I can like off the top of my head, I immediately know would be they're both Byron. It's the 600 car, the the flame car
Oh
that he
yeah.
ran for the Memorial Weekend. And then I would also say the Jeff Gordon throwback to his final race at Darlington scheme.
Yeah, that one was really cool. Oh, I mean, I would also say Byron's just primary flame scheme actually looked really good this year. It had several
Yeah.
different variations, like from the 500 all the way to
Also,
Phoenix.
was it this year or was it last year he ran the orange flame but with the white body? Was that this year's
I want to
500?
say that was last
I
year's
think that was last
500.
year's. That was
Yeah, that was last
2024,
year's
right?
because this year's was the
Was the regular.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, any flames on a 24 car is gonna probably win it. So I will say Alpha Prime killed it this year on many races, where it was just like, man, I would pick all three of their
Yeah.
cars.
Owen
It,
basically picked them every weekend.
it was hard not to. Schemes I didn't like. Again, Kroger is still doing their white hood deal, and I don't like that. Um, I hate the casino brand from. I
Chumba
hate
or something like that.
Yeah, from
Dumbo.
2311. I just do not like that at all. I also didn't like their beatbox scheme. So there was probably some others in there, but those stood out to me as ones I didn't like. Another one I really liked was I would actually say Trackhouse was pretty solid all year with their schemes. The same with as I just besides the casino scheme, I would say 2311 was pretty solid, especially with their Jordan themes and Air Force themed. The
Yeah,
stealth bomber, you put a stealth bomber on a car, wins.
yeah.
Just
He almost
wins.
did win in it.
Yeah. And then also one that or there was two. So when I was making casually trying to make this the top five list, I almost had three different Larson cars in there, but I was like, okay, I need to change it up. I loved Larson's um Indy 500 scheme livery being on both of the cars. Like that, it just looked good.
Yeah,
I say Indy 500, but also Coca-Cola 600. Unfortunately, wrecked in them. And then also his Las Vegas Zach Brown band car was actually
that was a really
pretty
good one.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was one that really popped on track for me. And so yeah, I remember when Tyler said it. I wasn't really I'd seen the mock-up for the scheme and he was like, "Oh, it looks really good." And I was like, "Okay, like we'll see." I'm not huge on that style. And then I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'm sure if I saw it in person, like it was actually really cool." And so but to move on from some schemes, looking forward to next year. I'm really, it's one of my favorite things is to see what's being updated, what's coming in for next year. So I'm always looking forward to that. But let's talk about next year in general. Maybe some predictions we have or something we're looking forward to. Like let's talk about the San Diego weekend first. I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's a it's going to be hard to fail with that. Like even if the racing isn't great, I think just the actual event itself is a home run
yeah.
for many
I
reasons.
agree.
So I mean, as someone that's going to be there no matter what, how do you feel about it?
Not looking forward to the flight out there, but other than that, yeah, that and then the following weekend, Sonoma. So they did a good job for the teams that they have to stay out there anyways
Yeah.
and run the road courses. It's smart, but it sucks flying like 5.5, 6 hours.
Oh, boo hoo. I've done
Yeah, it's
this
not
too way
fun.
too much.
But
Too
we
much.
have to do it. We have to make fuel stops too. So that's something
How
else
many
that kind of
fuel
sucks.
stops do you make in that?
Usually it's one, but if we have a lot of headwinds, sometimes it's two. It really just
Mm,
depends on that headwind. Or
yeah.
weight that we're carrying. But that'll be kind of a miserable part of that. But it's is what it is. It just ends up being like it ends up being a full 24-hour day to fly out there if it's just one race. So you're on a plane for like 12 to 14 hours waiting for people and stuff. So it's a lot. But
I guess
um
I should take back my boo hoo because that's the
yeah,
way it is when I fly out there.
yeah,
So.
I honestly would rather go like maybe hop on a commercial plane that can fly it nonstop for those races, but it is what it is. But no, I'm looking forward to that. I think that'll be a fun one. And I've never seen San Diego, so just to be out there, and I think we're running both series. They're like both truck Xfinity.
All
It's all
three.
three. So
But I think the
it'll be
truck
fun to
race is
be out
blocked
there.
off for people that are just living on the base.
Okay. I didn't know about that. That'd be
I
cool.
think that's what
I
I
think it'll
heard.
be fun no matter what. I think it's gonna be a fun experience. I think my only complaint is how in the world are we still gonna pit backwards when you've never ran the track? Just drive the opposite direction.
Hmm.
Like it blows my mind that we're gonna run backward stops at a place we've never raced at,
Yeah.
and all we gotta do is just go the other direction. Other than like how you exit and enter the pit road, like it's
Hmm.
how why like Chicago, we could have done the same thing. We could have just drove the other way and had normal pit stops. So if
Hmm.
someone could please explain to me up in NASCAR making these decisions, why we're doing backwards pit stops for that, that would be great.
Hmm.
So
That's
that's
interesting. I
my
didn't know
only question is that.
that. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try and make it down to San Diego whenever I can, or if I can.
How
Um,
far is San Diego from you versus how far is Sonoma for you?
Sonoma is 6 to 8
Like,
hours, and I always say San Diego's 2 to 5 hours.
okay.
Yeah, it
Wow.
will say it's one of those drives where it's like, oh, it's only 2.5 hours, maybe three at the and then once you start driving, the traffic just stops or it gets you.
It
It builds
slowly
up.
just starts hitting.
There's so many spots where traffic builds up. It's never there's never really a great path unless you're just driving at night or early morning because there's so many spots that just fill up. But I mean, the one time I've been down there with my wife and I, it took us like 5.5 hours, but that's also because I thought I had a problem with my car. And so I spent like 30, 40 minutes trying to figure that out. Ended up getting it figured out. But yeah, and then we got stuck in nonstop traffic. So yeah, it can be fun, but yeah, I mean it's close enough that I'll try and go. But something I kind of look at for next year is one of my bold predictions. Sorry if there's clicking in the background. Again, my dog is pretty hyper. Um, one of my bold predictions though is Legacy will be more competitive. I
I could
think
see that.
I think
Sheldon works there now, so I think they're gonna be really fast.
is just
Congrats,
because of
Sheldon.
Sheldon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Pretty bold
I'll
thing. A lot of
definitely send
pressure on
him
Sheldon
this.
there.
I'm gonna send him this podcast, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
say, hey, man, I give you a shout out in this.
Yeah, I think they'll be more competitive. I think their in-house note taking, they're, them building up. I think we saw flashes, especially with John Hunter Nemechek, of them being faster this year. And so that tells me I think next year they'll be a bit more competitive on a lot of fronts. One thing I wanted to think or talk about because it's kind of fresh is Chevy's new body. Um, I
Yeah, way
don't
fresh.
Yeah, I don't know if that will be any better or worse for them. I hope it's not worse by any means, but
Part of me wants to know why would y'all even make an announcement? Like
that's
you
the
did next
thing.
to nothing. Like I see like maybe the headlights and something with the greenhouse where the top of the window it looks a little bit more curved instead of
Yeah.
like at an angle. But
I
I don't understand why y'all made a freaking post about it.
I mean
Should just let it be.
when I look at it, I think it was more people hyping it up more than the company because Chevy never really did much in the way of like, guess what? There's something new. Like they weren't doing anything, and it was just people the whole time trying to piece together like the Camaro being discontinued from production to what NASCAR will do. I mean, I heard stuff all the way to an SUV grill, which honestly I was curious to see. I was really hoping for the Cadillac storyline, but again, it was just all these people making theories and stuff, and Chevy was like, guys,
If you'd asked me 2 months ago, I was pretty bought in that we were going to see a Cadillac, like the was it CTS-V or whatever
something like that.
was
Yeah.
going to be the face for GM, and I was like, this is going to be cool looking. And I even saw
Yeah.
some of the renderings that people had made. I'm like, this is going to be awesome, but it just never happened. And I'm sure there's plenty of reasons why I think that keeping the Camaros the smart thing to do.
It makes sense definitely for the American crowd of the American muscle kind of idea of it all. But yeah, I was hoping for Cadillac, but then I kind of was listening to I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about like Cadillac is kind of their F1 brand now. And I was like, okay,
Yeah,
like and
that's
again,
the one thing I was wondering is with them going to F1 for next season, if it would steal some of the thunder that Cadillac's trying to do and move in
yeah.
with F1.
I would like to see I would like to see like I don't know, a more I don't know what I would like to see, I guess, now that I'm thinking about it, but I think I would just want to see the Supra in the Cup Series and the Camry in the now O'Reilly
I
Autoport
would say
Series.
that. I thought that like 3 years ago. And then last year when the Camry came out, I think the Camry looks awesome. Like I can't explain it. Like on a race car, the Camry nose looks great. The Camry in real life looks like a normal car. And
Yeah.
honestly, even the Supra doesn't do anything to me when I see it in public. It does
No.
nothing. It's just a name is really
Yeah.
what it comes down to. But I think the Camry looks awesome. Like I genuinely love the way the Camry looks.
I think it looks good too. There's
That's
really
why I'm
no
conflicted by it. Like Supra sounds better and it's the sports car, but
that I think that's where I
honestly,
land.
like
When I
it's
look at
like if you
like
could change the names but keep the same nose, perfect.
it'd be different if or Ford was still running the Taurus and Chevy was still running the whatever it was, Monte
The
Carlo.
Impala.
Impala,
Er,
whatever, Malibu or whatever. It's like it would make sense. But now that we're up to the Mustang and Camaro, I'm like, and then Chevy or Toyota's like, we have the Camry. And it's like, okay, well, sure, it's your best selling car, but like these are meant for performance. I don't know. That's always the way I've felt. Um, but again, I'm not going to complain that they're doing bad either. So actually, speaking of some Toyotas, I think Chase Briscoe will actually be more dangerous next year. I think
oh, I agree.
yeah.
That
I
last half of the season, like once they won in Pocono, it was kind of like game on for the 19.
And exactly that. So I'm like, man, I think I think he'll be a lot more competitive from the start. I'm curious though, like sometimes there's that rookie season flair that maybe they caught on to. I mean, it's not Chase Briscoe's rookie season necessarily, but just that rookie team coming in here and meshing and finding something. But again, every team makes improvements in the offseason, and we'll see who comes out the best of it. I also hope Denny Hamlin goes full villain mode and from here on out, just like nothing to lose in a way. I mean, not like wrecking, but just in his mentality of like, I was almost there. Let's go for it. Screw NASCAR system. Uh, let's just go all out for it. And I kind of would like to see that because I still think
I
he'll
mean, it
be
might
competitive.
happen.
Yeah.
It might happen.
I mean, so what are your predictions for next year? I actually think my prediction for y'all is y'all going to be in the 34 truck, the top tier truck next year. Um,
Like the team to beat.
the team to beat, but I also think someone like Brent Cruz will be doing really well and Caden Honeycutt.
I could see Brent being a lot better. Caden Honeycutt's situation will be interesting if he's gonna drive the 52, if he's gonna be in like the teammate of the 52, the 62 car truck.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of who else. Our teammate, the 38, with Chandler, he should be good again.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what happened with them about halfway through the season. They didn't have quite the same pace, but I'm sure that they'll kind of get to the bottom of it and be good again.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be. I for sure think we have a little bit of a target on our back, at least going into next year. And all we
Yeah.
got to do is just kind of keep doing what we've been doing, and all of our guys at the shop, and Dylan, the crew chief, and Lane. I know we're going to be plenty fast. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm.
There are some young drivers that I think will do better. I think Raja will do fine in the Xfinity series, but one thing I also think Carson Kvapil will probably get his first win. I think he was really close a lot of the times this year. Uh, One person I am kind of worried about in the way of their momentum is Corey Heim. Not having any full season rides, maybe piecing together a whole season through all the series, kind of has me worried for his momentum because that full season uh, storyline that comes with how, I mean, obviously getting how many was it? 11 wins, even 12 wins, maybe.
Yeah, it was
Um,
12 when he won Phoenix.
yeah. And so just something like that creates a lot of hype versus a pieced together season. I hope he doesn't lose his hype. I don't think he will, but yeah, I just don't know if his name will be thrown around as much
Yeah.
consistently. So, oh, sorry, let me go back. It's because speaking of Corey Haim, bad uh schemes. He had that one like what was it like Chiefs? I don't know. It was blue and black. I can't remember where he run. I would have to look it back up, but it just came to my mind. But man, there's a
Who?
scheme. Corey Haim for 2311. He ran a scheme. That was like it started with a C, the sponsor, but it was like this blue and black. It just looked dumb. It was
Was it a
horrible.
light blue color?
Yeah, lighter blue. Can't remember
I
where
think
he
I
ran
remember
it.
what it looked like.
Ugh.
It was the Cup car.
Yeah, it was a cup car. Anyways, I'm trying to think. There was a couple other drivers that I thought would be. I'm intrigued to see what Daniel Suarez does next year in Spire. I don't know what to think of that because it's like, is Daniel Suarez a team like can he carry a team like that and like get the better finishes out of a car? I just don't know. He was in really good equipment at Trackhouse, but only came out with what, like 3 wins over the course of like 5 years or so.
I think
Um,
something like
so
that.
yeah, it's just I don't know what to think about it because I think him and McDowell are good enough drivers to keep a team afloat, but to better the team, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've cursed. There's no Kurt Busch in the way of like going to a random team, making it better, and then moving on kind of
Yeah.
driver. So yeah, I'm curious to see how that will go. I can't remember if there's any other big switch ups coming next year. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see how 2311 and Brent Road do in the Cup Series with all this continued trial drama going on. So, but let's transition to kind of towards the end. I kind of want to just talk about state of the podcast is kind of what I'm calling it. It's really just about things that you and I are trying to improve on, want to be better on next year. Maybe some sort of updates and just overall look back at our, first quarter or three-fourths of a season, full season of the podcast. Because spoiler alert, 10 Away is going to take a break till next year, but we'll still do some pop and tops if you're still around at this point. So. Um, but yeah, I'll let you go first. Is there anything in the way of the podcast that you want to better on or anything like that?
I would love to integrate our idea that we've had of getting some pit stops and having breakdowns for the YouTube channel. So when you're watching us live, or no, I wouldn't say live, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see what I see and what my teammates go through during a pit stop, stuff that we've tried to figure out some software that we can integrate that, and I can
Yeah.
go through a couple minute conversation, and Owen, you can ask me questions that you see and things that somebody that doesn't work directly in the sport would possibly have questions about. So
Yeah.
that's something I would love to for us to figure out, and we can see how that gets integrated into the podcast. And if we do some solos next year, if it's myself or for you, just having good, clean episodes and good content.
Yeah, the pit stop review one, we tried to do that months ago. But yeah, I just can't find the right setup or whatever for it. Yeah, still looking for the software to help it run smoothly. But yeah, I think for me it's I'm trying to do an updated like intro like design, graphic, audio, whatever you want to call it. Because I feel like we could do that, but yeah, we're I do want to promote more, but we're a slow moving podcast just because we're not trying to throw a bunch of money at it and we don't really have a bunch of money to throw at it. So I don't know, taking our time, trying not to set up too many expectations or too many promises that we may not be able to keep. So it's kind of one thing I learned really quickly. I was like, oh, we should stop trying to tease anything if we can't really fully commit to it. But
Right.
no, it's still a fun thing to do. Yeah, like I said, I kind of would like to update looks. I would like to have more of a my goal is to better our internal system to where, like I said, with the schemes by the end of the year, I don't have to dig back through everything I already did or whatever. Yeah, we're trying to do a couple things where, for one, maybe promotion will be easier, and then two, the balance between the editing and all of it is difficult because yeah, it's one person, but I think I found a system. By now I've found an AI program that helps break it all up. I'm not huge on AI, but I think I'll allow it in over here because I can't put too much focus on it like I would like to. But yeah, I think next year I'd like to f figure out also a couple like segments to do as well, and a couple of more fun ideas, I think. So this year we got our feet wet. Next year we'll soak our feet even more. I don't know how much we'll run, but yeah, still going to do some pop and tops in the off season. Looking forward to that. We're going to try and get some repeats on that we've had before, just because they actually had a pretty good into the season or interesting
Yeah.
into the season. But then, yeah, try to diversify that a little bit more going further too. Pop and tops are a lot of fun. I want to get some more people, even people that we may not really know very well, and we can,
Yeah.
have an actual conversation or a more of a learning conversation between all of us too. So. But I think that will do it for this season's Tin Away. This is the last episode of Tin Away for this season. Yeah, it was fun. Looking forward to getting it going again next year.
Yep. Can't wait for Daytona. It'll be here before we know it.
Yeah, it actually will be. I don't know what to do every Sunday right now. Like,
I know. I'm a little bit bored. I only got football now, which
yeah,
I love watching football, but I sometimes get to tune into the race when I can.
yeah. But anyways, that'll do it. I'm gonna go watch Flubber and it's been Tin Away.
See you, man.
Ten away.
See ya.
5, 4,